Hey, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. We have been so very lucky with the people that have come to stay with us. I like to think, and maybe someone will contradict me on this with the right information, I like to think that we are actually, as an expat channel, as a foreigner in the Philippines type channel, I think that we are the most visited. We have the most visitors who either come and stay with us or who meet up with us. And I'm just remembering even now another one. I wrote them down so that I could go over and party. Pascal. So we've in the last couple of months, boy, we've been absolutely inundated with requests to come and stay. Now, if you've looked at our Patreon account, you'll see there that there are offers saying if you contribute this is when we were fine on that, contribute to our Patreon account, which we are able to do. You'll see that we were saying in there that this much money will allow for this bigger stay. Well, in fact, that was very early on, 2 years ago, that we did that, and we've never gone back and changed it. But in fact, we don't charge for people to come and stay with us in our guest house, and it is by kind of mutual agreement that they come. 3 to 5 days is usually a good actual visiting time. But boy, I'm just looking at the number, and I may have even missed out people that have come and stayed in the last 2 or 3 months. I'm just going now. We have people who come and meet us but don't actually come to the house. And the one that sticks out there is the French-Canadian man, Pascal, and he came, but he actually came in, didn't stay, but he came up to the house and he brought a party of people with him, and we had an enjoyable visit, even though it was a walk around a construction site for them. So who else have we had? Well, we've had, and this is not actually in the order that they came, but we had Wilbert. Wilbert was unusual because he was Filipino, but he was an OFW and a musician, so it was a delight to have Wilbert. And Wilbert came, and he was instrumental in contacting Pastor Timio, and he brought some equipment which he helped to set up for the sound in the church. So, and he played in the church as well, and he sang and played guitar. He brought his guitar, and that was a terrific gift. So he brought all of that, and that was his intention, to come here and to help improve the sound quality of the church. As you know, if you looked at the videos that we've done on the church, you'll see that there's a lot of singing going on and a lot of playing, and they have really what amounts to a small group on stage. And so there's a guitar, bass guitar, keyboard, maybe doubling on keyboard, and a drummer. And there's a lot of singing goes on from the children right up into the adults. So that was very welcome. That was Wilbert. We had Tom and Rosie. Tom and Rosie, unfortunately, didn't stay as long as we would have liked them to, or they would have liked, because just prior to coming over, both of them suffered some kind of allergy that surfaced for both of them. So Rosie wasn't feeling that great, and neither was Tom. Well, we eventually went into Taliban for Tom and for Rosie. Rosie, while in the hotel that they'd stayed at in Cebu, had been found to have some kind of an allergy, and which has surfaced while she was in Cebu. And she had a prescription that had been filled once, but still kept the same prescription. So she was able to go in and get a generic substitute for that for that allergy, that medication. So she did that, but neither of them felt that they were able to settle, and so they left early. I think they came and they stayed a night, and not sure whether they stayed another night or whether it was after the second night. But anyway, we took them to the port, and they got the ferry, and they left. And then later it was confirmed that in fact Tom had pneumonia. Wow! Now that's the third person that has touched our lives that has had pneumonia. Baby Faith had pneumonia, and who else had pneumonia? Somebody else had pneumonia. But anyway, so Tom and Rosie got back to the hotel that they'd stayed in, and they were able to contact the doctor that they had felt very comfortable with, and that's where Tom found out that he had pneumonia, and they got treatment. So we'll welcome those back on another day. So there was Barry. Barry, great pleasure, because he had been very experienced in helping other charities, and he had been to various parts of Africa, if I remember rightly, Africa or India. Mumbai was the place that he had been, and he had been there for several months, and some other things that he had had. Now I'm really talking about very recent visitors, because I want to get to a point, which always takes me a long time. So then we had Mike, and Mike is still with us, and we also had John S., and John S. is still with us until the end of the week. Mike is going to be with us until I think the 22nd, and then after that we're taking a break, we're taking a breath, and we're going to just focus on getting the second stage of our house is going to be built, and we are going to be starting that very soon. We won't have the entire Superman team working on that, but what we're going in for is to get the rebar forms that have to be made for every pillar. So we're going to work out the pillars, how many we're going to need for those. We're going to have Manorado bend the metal, and he'll make up a little workplace, and he'll sit there, and he'll be fully employed making all of those forms. We'll work out how many and how big they are, how big this way they are, and how long they have to be. So that will be something that Rado will be able to be fully employed with. That's always one of our goals, is to keep Manorado employed, fully employed. And of course, if anybody else wants to come and get in on that act as well, perhaps Beanie might want to come and do that. Not sure if that's one of the things that he likes to do. He's more on the carpentry. So that's what we've been doing guest-wise, and now we're going to take a break for a little while. I think that we have Tintin Christine coming in a couple of months. Now, if we do have someone that wants to meet, of course, we'll be quite happy to meet, and I think that there are some dates dotted around between now and when Tintin comes and stays with us, and we'll be delighted to meet whoever gets in touch with us. But as far as the guest house goes, we're trying to keep it vacant for right now, so that we can get on with the work on the house, which we're really hoping might be finished by, let me say, certainly by my birthday, which is in July. So that, and getting the pool ready for what we hope will be more than just a birthday celebration, celebrating the pool being operative, and some other great news which we will hope to be able to share very soon. So thank you for being with me on this little update about our visitors and how much we enjoy them, and we hope that you enjoy them too. As far as as far as any go, people with firm opinions, Tom and Rosie. Tom was a man of firm opinions, and of course there are a lot of people that are subscribers, and they're of firm opinions as well. As always, the only thing that I ask is that you give civility. Be civil, be nice. You can say, I don't agree, I think this is not good. There are nice words out there that you can use, and I think with Mike probably the same too, where we are all very hopeful, but I still say that the main thing in all of these things that I think of is, I think, keep your hopes high and your expectations low, and then whatever happens, life has a way of unfolding on its own without your help. Sometimes, in fact, sometimes in spite of everything you do, life still unfolds. So let's try to keep it nice, and let's allow it to unfold. That's what I would suggest. There are channels out there which love confrontation, they actually seem to love negativity, and if that's how you feel, maybe that's where you should be. Certainly what we're trying to do is to keep this a feel-good channel, and got to tell you, sometimes it puts years on me wading through some of the comments. When I was a musician, if we had I remember the drummer in the band that I was in, we had a bass player came in who actually didn't prove to be a real mover, and when I asked the drummer, I said, so how did that feel to you? He said, oh my God, he said, it was like trying to drive the Queen Mary through a sea of Mars bars. Mars bars are chocolate bars. So, thanks again, and I hope you have a good evening, or a good morning, or a good day, whichever is applicable for you. And bye for now. Who is this? See, can you point that thing somewhere else? Okay, see you later.